In just a matter of time, we will all be seeing Doctor Strange and Spider-Man team up through the multiverse in Spider-Man No Way Home. And while Doctor Strange and Spider-Man are going to have their hands full with various multiverse villains, in our section of the multiverse, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange will be facing their own foe, a lawsuit by the Ditko estate against Spider-Man and Doctor Strange copyrights. Boy, what a interesting Friday morning. We all wake up, getting ready for the weekend. We're getting ready to see what's out on the news, and the news in the comic book world has been flipped upside down because the Steve Ditko estate, again, for those that aren't aware, Steve Ditko passed away a long while ago, is officially going after the copyrights to both Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. So to quickly catch everybody up on why they are filing this right now, essentially what has happened is Patrick J. Ditko, the nephew of the famous artist, is using a copyright law, which is the Copyright Act of 1976. And in that section that was passed, it lets the offspring and relatives way further down the road, whenever they want, be able to put up a copyright lawsuit and law into action that brings the economic success of anything that the original artist or creator worked on, and it would benefit them so they can make profits off of it. So to explain this very simply, Patrick J. Ditko wants profits on everything related to Spider-Man and Doctor Strange that's ever been really created since the character was created. Now, as of right now, we don't know if there's been any sort of response that's been made because all we have is this filing, and how it could move forward and what's going on is still a big question mark and a unknown factor, which if there's more discovered, I will talk about it. But what's interesting here is the whole problem with Doctor Strange and specifically Spider-Man, where we know for a fact that back in the day, you were essentially a worker for hire when you worked with many of these comic book companies. So technically, once you were done, it was just done. Now, they could say, well, Ditko created these characters or co-created them, which is 100% true, but therein lies the problem, where Ditko wanted to distance himself away from these characters and the licensing / sales of anything, because it just wasn't in his interest, because he didn't feel fully responsible. So he turned away all of these profits. So they might be able to use that against the family as well. We just don't really know, though, how they're going to proceed with this and what claims Disney, Marvel, probably Sony being involved as well, because the money factor. Oh, we don't know what they could really do in the long term or who's going to get involved because of so many contracts since the creation of the Copyright Act, but also Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. So right now we don't really know much. Probably soon we're going to find out a little bit more in regards to what the future holds for these characters and this whole thing going on. I don't even really know how to describe it because we don't know what it could really affect as of right now. My guess would be they will just settle this out of court, and we won't know much other than we settled it. And this will kind of, I would assume, end up like the whole Bill Finger, Bob Kane situation, where if you guys don't know, I mean, you know, Bob Kane gets all the credit for Batman, his estate, and everybody was always praised, but Bill Finger did majority of the work, and he didn't get credit till like just a handful of years ago. So it's how it's, you know, handled. That's sort of just the way Hollywood and the businesses operate. So we'll see what happens with this. I'm going to assume probably nothing big, but you never know. I mean, you just never know people's ambitions.